G'day, trendsetters. Yeah, no, I don't like. Pardon me. I don't like that particular saying either from Rodney Kemp. Yeah, he came from my hometown too, by the way. When I was a kid, growing up in Bathurst, there's a guy called Rodney Kemp who tried to be a musician, but a roadie dropped an amplifier on his head and fucked him. So he became a comedian and called himself Rodney Rude because he swore his head off all the time. Like, he even has a song about that. This is the story about Johnny Blah. Good looking guy, he was a superstar. Yeah, I don't remember how it all goes either. Good looking guy, played the guitar, but till the road he dropped an amplifier on his head and fucked him. Yeah, that's Rodney Rude's style. Anyway, I've got no style. I don't know if you'd say styleless or unstyled. Either way, I can rip one of them out anytime I needed to. I'm drinking grape juice tonight, just in case you were wondering. Yeah, it's homebrew. But they're great bottles to put it in when you've got access and you couldn't be fucked bottling it all. So yeah, there was going to be a purpose to this particular rant tonight. As I was walking down the road tonight, because I tend to walk down that road quite a lot, I always get highly inspired, and so I think of all these things. Now by the time I get home, I couldn't be freaked. Yeah, you thought you were going to hit the beep button for a minute there, didn't you? I really couldn't be frigged. I'm just over it. My dinner was actually reheated, my leftovers, and eat. And I did Facebook stuff that I do, and I was almost ready to call it a night, and I thought, hang on, there was something I wanted to talk about tonight. I actually had some really, really good inspirations tonight. And I thought maybe if I just came downstairs here, because I live upstairs, I don't live down here in the basement. This is the Rumpus Room. But I like to come down here because I know it's pretty private. I mean, people can look in from the windows up there and from the windows over there, but generally speaking, it's pretty private. So I feel like I'm I can just be myself, talk as I do, which probably isn't necessarily such a good thing because I'm obviously, I'm quite aware that I'm a bit of a fucking lunatic, okay? I accept that. And I accept it because of my exceptional intelligence. And again, I don't say that just to toot my own horn and think that I'm better than anybody, just because I am. Intelligence isn't necessarily a gift. In some ways it can be a curse. Like, geez. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to feel pity, sorrow, or think anybody's got it better than me, because obviously intelligence is actually a really good thing. It's a gift, and I'm very grateful for it. And I'm trying to apply it to the betterment of humanity as best as I can. So I get a lot of haters. I think, actually this is what I was thinking about. upstairs before I came down, and why I needed to make this video, is because everybody wants to hate on other people who are better than them. Don't ask me why. It's probably a jealousy thing. It's something to say, well, they're always looking to pick for faults, like, he drinks all the time, therefore he's a drunkard, therefore he's an idiot. Nah. Noah was considered a drunkard. Anyway, I'm not even going to go into that, because I don't know the story. All I know, he was considered a drunkard, and possibly even from some circles, he was considered an albino. Okay, well, I don't really know about that, and I don't really think it's true, but one of these posts that I just happened to chance across today on the Atheists versus Christians debate page, or whatever they call themselves. I don't actually follow either side. I'm not Christian in the sense of following the biblical Bible by the book, and I'm not atheist because I do believe there's a God. There are many, many, many levels of higher powers above us, and this dimension that we exist on in the physical world hasn't got a bloody clue, much more than what the next one might be, where we can exist in the astral plane, where we go when we're dreaming and we can do whatever we want. We can imagine anything and make it real. That's just like the next dimension, let alone multiple dimensions above that. So I'm certainly not atheist, agnostic to some degree, but how can you doubt what you know is obviously real? So, no, I am Christian in that I believe Christ existed, the man Jesus existed, maybe not called by that name, maybe it was something else. I don't think that's too important as to what you call something, as opposed to what you understand something as to being what it is. So each and every one of us, we are all angels, aspects of God. Every single one of us. It's just that most of us tend to forget, and we forget from a variety of reasons, whether it be brainwashing, forgetfulness, living in this world of deceit, deception and lies, and you name it. There's so many reasons why we forget who we are. We are who man. Who are you? Who man? Who means colour. Who means light. Who is an ancient name of God. We humans are just God having another experience. However, God chooses. And the deeper down he can bury himself in forgetfulness and disguise himself as something less than God, then the more successful he's achieved his outcome, because he'd rather not remember, because there's no challenge in remembering and knowing everything. And that's where I guess it's not easy being me, because I do tend to remember quite a bit too much. Which is why I was thinking, okay, well, supposing somebody came along, let's say it was me. Let's say I've come to be the saviour of the world. Your first instinct is going to be to find fault with me. And you will absolutely do it. You're going to look to find every reason under the sun to say, it's my ego. Well, it's not. I really, I do care. That's the thing. I do care, and that's why it is such a conundrum. Because if I'd come forth and say, I'm here to be the saviour of the world, automatically you're going to pick fault. You're going to look at my credentials, you're going to look at my living conditions, you're going to look at my clothing, you're going to look at my frickin' hair and glasses, and you're going to pick the shit out of me. Which, that's probably why, I only come around every couple of thousand years or so. No, doesn't mean I'm saying I am Jesus. No. There's no ego, okay? There's no ego attached. I am just a simple man. That is all. Born for a reason and a purpose. To be here. To save the world. Now, you might think, well, what is my great plan? What am I going to do? What are my great superpowers? Well, my superpower is very simple. It is love. It is very simple. I came here to share the word love. A lot of you have a hard time accepting love. I know I do. It's a very unloving world. It's a very unforgiving world. But all you need is love. Bum, ba-da-da. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Seems oversimplification, doesn't it? Well, it is. It's an absolute oversimplification, because the more you love, the more people without love are going to persecute. That's how it works. I remember hearing a very interesting thing. This one sort of just came and went. I never saw a second telling of this particular story, and so that's why I think it's worth telling, because I don't buy into a lot of this scriptural stuff, or especially not when it comes to the Pope, because I don't believe the Vatican are actually on the good side. I do believe they're fighting, promoting the dark side. There is a light and a dark side. Obviously, the light side is Christ, the dark side is Satan, and Satan is just as highly can't think of the right word. I was nearly said promoted, but that's not the right word. It's highly treasured, highly esteemed. Just as highly esteemed as the Christ, because you can't have good without bad. You have to have balance, and so each one has a most important task to do. And in fact, being the bad side or the dark side is probably even more challenging and less rewarding than being on the light side. And of course, enlightened people understand that there is this balance, that is created for a purpose, and the purpose is obviously to test us. We are here to be tested, like a student in any school. You're sent out with your lessons, you get given the basics, then you have to discriminate for yourself and learn and make the best choices that you think suit your own karmic purposes. So if you want to burn in perpetual hell, for example, you probably would do some nasty sort of actions in your life. Or if you decide that you would like to work as a teacher to promote more students to seek the light of truth and knowledge and understanding and blissful harmony, well then that's the sort of path you're going to walk down. So each and every aspect that we come across in life is an opportunity for us to take the good path or the... I shouldn't even say good and bad, because there is no good and bad. There is no right or wrong. There is just what you prefer and what you don't prefer. So if you prefer bliss and harmony, take the light path. If you prefer agony and suffering, take the dark path. It's a choice. And there's no judgment. There's no right or wrong. You can go whichever path you wish and experience whatever experiences you wish to experience according to your beliefs. So it will be. So each and everything has its purpose. Kind of lost a bit of track there where I was going with this too. As happens. Because I didn't really come here with much purpose for this rant in the first place. Because I'm tired. I got forgetful. There was so much that was so clear, so clarified to me while I'm walking down the road, and now that I'm home, I've forgotten. I just thought I'd try and make this rant anyway and see what came out, so sorry if I'm disappointing you. Maybe you've already got something out of it, I don't know. But yeah, I guess you're probably focusing on the fact that I said I was here to be the saviour of the world. Okay, well that's obviously false. It's not true. It's not me. It's not me, the ego. It's the intellect that I sometimes allow to run through me, who is the saviour of the world. Doesn't make me special, not at all. But it does in a way, because I've allowed myself to clarify my existence of being, my existential beingness. I don't know what the correct term is, but for the most part I try to live a pretty pure life. Keep pure thoughts, think positive, eat a clean diet, not harm animals as much as possible, and just connect with nature. Just go out, listen to nature, listen to the insects, watch the bats flying around, watch the stars coming out. Just be connected, you know, talk to every animal, horses, cows, dogs, cats, lizards. I've got this lizard in my backyard. I saw him again this afternoon actually. He's one of these water dragons, and he's missing like a big chunk off the end of his tail. And I've run into him now. This is probably the 5th or 6th time that we've run into each other, just, you know, coming across each other in my backyard, and I actually stopped stop what I'm doing. I sort of get down on my knee a bit and look at him and talk to him. Actually talk. You can talk to the animals. Talk to the reptiles. Talk to the insects. Talk to the fish. You can talk to them by stopping and saying, in a nice way, hello. How are you today? Oh, I see you've missed a chunk off your tail, you poor thing. Oh, I've got a lot of sympathy for you there. They appreciate it. They know. They can feel. They can sense. So this fellow, yeah, he stopped like a good 3 times as he's trying to run across my yard, and just stopped and listened when we talked to each other. I could probably go out any day of the week. In fact, when I say 5 or 6 times, yeah, it's probably 50 or 60 now that I think of it. You know, short-term memory loss and all that. Just be connected with the world you live in. Go outside. Go and look at the insects. Sit down in the grass and just look at the ants. Look at all the other things that come around you. That is how you connect with your higher self, the God aspect that we all have. We're all born with it. So no, I'm not saying I, personally, am the saviour of the world. Not at all. But I am saying that I have the potential to change the world every time I sit down and become self-aware, or every time I go for a walk. Like when I'm going on those walks, I am projecting conscious thoughts out. So I might not always be able to come home and coherently convey them to you, but when I'm out there doing it, that is when I am being the living saviour of the world, which each and every one of us has within us to be as well. So you can tap in to my consciousness while I'm doing that. In fact, I might even start leaving, well, I don't have to. You can just feel it. If you can't feel it, then you're dead inside. If you're alive, if you're full of the living light of the living God, the living word flowing through every ounce of your being, then you're already there. You can feel it. It's a bit after 10 p.m, probably closer to 11 p.m. by now, here on the 12th of February 2018. So I generally go out about 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. as it's getting dark here, so I can watch the stars coming out, watch the Southern Cross become illuminated, not rising, it just, as it gets darker, becomes more and more visible. The stars don't rise and set like the sun and moon do. The stars are always there. The living angels watching over us, the illuminaries. And we are the star seeds. And someday we will join them. That's how it works. We're all beings of light. Everything is energy. E equals mc squared. That's just another way of saying matter is light. Let's just change this vibration. And we can change our vibration with our thoughts, with our consciousness, with our hearts, and with love. That's how we do it. Peace and love to you all. Talk to you next time.